It's the newest facility in the NFL, and it is a beauty as we come to you from U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now a handoff as they run left side. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. And ready now for 2nd and 9.
Here we go now. Green.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. And the hurdle that time, a great hurdle. Gives him the extra ground to gain for the first. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Man, how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Their big tight end, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Just how they wanted to start this one, in the end zone on their first possession.
And that just happened. How about that play right there? As you said, opening possession, setting the tone for everything. Now, I'm going to look forward a little bit now because everyone should be celebrating his catch in the end zone. The tight end gets a little bit of love. But if you're a receiver on the team, you should be thinking to yourself, boy, oh boy, things are going to open up the rest of the game if they have to focus on him as well.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he rifles one incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. back to throw now on first down. Throwing left side, it's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They go play action here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was. To come from and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
And this seemingly endless drive continues. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Hard throw, incomplete. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a simple.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up. In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning. Some runs are
back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first.
3 down. All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, if people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be first down Vikings.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Again, we'll see the pistol here. He'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
And the offense in a great spot. It's first and goal from the 3. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
That's caught at the 2. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Their big tight end. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there. It doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the second level. You end up with the type of play we just saw. Linebackers didn't have to fight anyone off, didn't have to knock anyone to the side, didn't have to elude anyone trying to block them. They just saw the play, ran to the ball, and finished things off.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears defense gearing up as they take the field. They struggled that last drive. They were kind of hit 2 ways, both with the run and the pass.
And I love how you brought hit into it, because a lot of defense coordinators like to show a little cut-up film the night before a game. They usually have some boxing in there, and it always shows the guy being the aggressor, the guy on his toes punching, not back on his heels taking punches, and that's where this defense was on the last possession.
They were on their heels. Will they be on their heels again? Let's see. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll be a Minnesota 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. 4 yards remaining now on 2nd down. Another pistol look here. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings! Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings move it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 8 yards there on a first down. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll look to throw, surveying the field. He's got a man, complete. A very solid gain of 27. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Finding time. Over the middle, it's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually.
And he is in. Touchdown. touchdown, Chicago. Their big tight end, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Wide open receiver complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down, and that is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with 1 complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering what's going to...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well. And every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Back to throw again. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
That ball was tipped in the air, and while it ultimately fell incomplete, it caused a few anxious moments for the guy slinging it, who's had quite a day. He knows how to get it into the end zone. He's throwing it really, really well. And maybe Lady Luck is on his side because he avoided his first interception of the contest.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And it'll be 4th down. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
No gain on the play there, second down. Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you talk about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Jeez, don't you at least want your guys to get a drink of water? Probably pretty thirsty. Whatever, your wish, our command. Third quarter now. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The gun. They'll look to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. In the red zone this time.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He'll look to throw. That's caught at the 1. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Their big tight end. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
The play-action fake. They'll nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability.
Nowhere to go. Here, he lost the football.
Like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
4 down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line, that room to run just not there.
You mentioned last week that it felt like the offensive line was getting beaten to the punch by the guys across the ball.
It was pretty evident, I thought.
I mean, they were off the ball fast, penetrating, getting into the offensive backfield, really spilling a lot of runs before they got started. So I thought your observation was spot on then, and you're right there again this week. Same thing is happening, not able to get started because they're not able to control the point of attack.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. There he goes, right side. And he takes this thing down deep into Chicago territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 57 yards.
Well, it's obvious to me that the big guy is beyond locked in. We saw last week a Scintillating performance. We're seeing it again. I think he and his coordinator are in lockstep right now.
Sometimes a tip of the cap to the guys calling the plays here, yeah?
Not just calling the plays, setting the game plan, sitting with him during the week, watching tape as they formulate it. You know, the best ones, they listen to their guy and say, okay, what do you like this week? You like this play? You don't like that play? And that helps them formulate what they're going to do.
They'll bring a tight end in motion. Play clock winding down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll set up a throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
I think the defenders have to feel pretty good. Even though the ball was tipped in the air and could have become a big play for the offense, they actually won one because the guy flinging it today, he's having quite the performance. Couple of touchdown passes. Almost threw his first interception, but he's throwing it so well, I think Lady Luck was on his side.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments.
Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain, and it's 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he whips that one incomplete there. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop him here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, fourth quarter. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got time. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. 26 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Chicago first down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
You know, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. And the play clock's running down. Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Time running out here on the play clock. They're going to look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
The Vikings send out their punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be second down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll be first down Bears. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Back to throw here. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Back to throw again. He's got time in the pocket. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So you knew one way or another that you needed 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll need to get the ball back.
So, Brandon, the question is, how do you accomplish that? You can onside kick it, or remember, since you've got all 3 timeouts, you can still kick it deep and try to play defense.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. And this defense, they needed that 1 more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that 1 more stop.
Feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.